thought she had escaped. She thought leaving behind the haunted village would finally bring peace to her, her unborn child, and the ghosts of her past. But evil doesn't stay buried forever, especially when it's fed by generations of blood rituals and twisted motherhood. What began as a desperate search for safety soon spiraled into a nightmarish return to the one place she swore she'd never go again. Because this time, they weren't just after her child. They were after her soul. November 3rd, 2023. Luna sat alone on a crowded bus, cradling her swollen belly as the sun dipped beneath the horizon. The baby inside her kicked gently, almost as if sensing her fear. She tried to smile, tried to pretend this was just another journey, but every turn of the wheel brought her closer to the village she swore she'd never return to. 2 years had passed since she narrowly escaped the cult that had once tried to sacrifice her unborn child in a horrific ritual. But escape doesn't mean survival, not truly. The whispers still came at night, the sound of children giggling from empty corners, and sometimes she'd wake to find muddy footprints beside her bed. When the anonymous letter arrived, a single sentence written in red ink, her heart nearly stopped. "If you want your child to live, return to the fields." She tried to burn it, but the next day it reappeared on her doorstep, and again the next day, this time with a lock of her baby's hair. Luna's husband had vanished shortly after the birth. The police found nothing, no ransom, no leads, just his phone at the edge of a dried-up well and a lullaby playing on loop. Everyone told her he left. But Luna knew the truth. The fields had taken him. So now she was going back. Not for answers, not for revenge, but to end it, to bury whatever was chasing her, even if it meant digging her own grave. The village hadn't changed. Cracked mud walls, faded murals of gods with empty eyes. The air carried the scent of rotting incense and something fouler like burnt milk and blood. The moment she stepped off the bus, a crow landed nearby and stared at her with human-like stillness. She walked through the familiar alleys, her breath fogging the air despite the heat. Faces peered from shuttered windows, mostly old women with eyes clouded not by age but secrecy. None spoke, but one whispered as she passed, "She's come to finish what her womb started." She arrived at the temple, the same place where they once tied her down and tried to extract her unborn child as an offering. It had since been abandoned, overtaken by vines and silence. But when she stepped inside, the smell returned. Iron, wet earth, and milk. Luna followed a trail of footprints. Not adult ones, but the tiny bare feet of children, pressed into the dust like they'd just been made. Her flashlight flickered. Then she heard it, a faint lullaby, echoing from behind the altar. She found a doll, the same one that belonged to the little ghost girl who had once tried to drown her in the fields. Its stitched eyes were bleeding again, and beneath it, a freshly dug pit, with a note, "Only one mother shall remain." The ghost children returned that night. Their skin was ashen, mouths sewn shut, eyes empty. They didn't speak. They wept. One girl approached and touched Luna's belly. The baby inside kicked violently, and the girl whispered, "He's not yours anymore." She ran. Through the fields, through whispers, through laughter. The sugarcane swayed without wind. Hands reached from between stalks, grasping her dress. Her feet bled, and then she saw him. Her husband, hanging upside down from a tree. Smiling, he spoke without moving his lips. "Let the baby go, or join me." And behind him, the cult stood alive again. The same people she saw die, chanting in reverse, moving like broken puppets. They encircled her. The final ritual had begun. A cradle made of bones, fire licking the base of the cane. Her baby began to cry, but not from inside her. From outside, the cult was holding him. She hadn't noticed she was no longer pregnant, she screamed. And in that moment, she remembered the little girl, the one ghost who helped her escape before. Luna called her name Amul, and from the fire the girl emerged. Amul didn't save Luna. She saved the baby and let the fields consume the rest. Luna woke up on the edge of the field, holding her child. No wounds, no fire. The village was gone, literally gone, just forest now. Only one thing remained behind the doll, and its stitched mouth had finally opened. Inside was a human tooth. Some say Luna was cursed. Others say she was chosen. But if you ever visit the countryside, where the village once stood, you might hear a lullaby in the wind, or see a doll hanging from a tree branch watching, because the curse never ended. It was inherited. If this story chilled you to the bone, don't forget to subscribe for more real-feeling horror tales based on twisted truths and forgotten folklore. Comment below. Would you return to a place that tried to kill your child just to save them again? Also comment me down if you want its part 1.